Well, Golden State is now the number 2 seed. They .5 half game behind the Houston Rockets. And should Golden State and Golden State Warrior fans be worried? Absolutely not. It's your boy CJ Goodfellas back with the Boston Clinic and more. Y'all know what it is. No, they shouldn't be worried. I mean, it's too early to panic. I was saying that about Cleveland. They was going through their drama with IT and all them other people. It's too early to panic in the season for championship caliber teams. You know, too early. Too early. I like Golden State to still do what they got to do and make it to the finals out the West and win it. Period. Steph Curry just got to get healthy. You know, they got to get rested. Clay got to get in the rhythm. Durant is Durant. Draymond just got to get under control and get some counseling. Iguodala is Iguodala. He going to be that glue guy. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about Houston. I'm not worried about Oklahoma City. People put too much stock into the regular season. You know, you could beat somebody, 0-4 in the regular season, And then when it comes down to to the playoffs, you can get beat and get swept. It's all about matchups. It's all about game planning. Is Houston a big threat to them in the playoffs? Yeah, they're the biggest threat in the West, in my opinion. I say that because they got talent, and they got Clint Capella, who's a good big man. Obviously, Golden State Warriors don't have a good big man. That's their Achilles heel. And I'm not really worried about them, Houston, because James Harden is probably the top 10, top 10 guys I've seen that has superstar abilities. He's the top 10 worst playoff guy with superstar abilities. Let me rephrase that. I mean, he might be top 5. I haven't seen a guy who ball so hard, shout out to Kanye, Jay-Z, in the regular season, and his play just consistently drops off in the playoffs. Remember him in the finals back, 2011 versus the Miami Heat? Where was James Harden to be found? Westbrook was balling. KD was balling. Where was Harden? Back-to-back years versus Golden State. I remember one year, Houston could have went up 2-0 on Golden State. In crunch time, Harden turned the ball over twice and lost Houston the game. I think he did it twice versus Golden State. Then last year, without Kawhi Leonard, they lose to the San Antonio Spurs at home in Game 6, I believe, or Game 5. It's laughable, man. He's a choke artist. And we know Chris Paul's track record in the playoffs. History tells us he's gonna get hurt or be dealing with some nagging injuries. Oklahoma City they don't have the depth. Their superstar is gonna be tired by the time they get around to playing Golden State, unless they can get them in the first round somehow, or possibly the second round. But Golden State plays defense. And once they continue to get back to the basic essentials of playing defense and the basic fundamentals of defense, they'll be fine. Once Steph Curry can get healthy, they'll be fine. It's ups and downs in the regular season. It's a lot of them. 82-game season, too early to panic. Now we get around, close to, in April, in playoff time, right before playoff, and they still ain't clicking and they ain't hitting no type of rhythm, then I'll be a little bit worried for any team. But I'm not worried about, Cleveland beating them. Houston beating them. I ain't worried about Cleveland either. Just those guys going to have to get in that rhythm. I guarantee you Golden State gets in that rhythm. Guarantees. That focus is going to hit like a light switch. Defensively, they're going to get in rhythm. Offensively, I'm not worried about it. They pass the ball. They move the ball well. It's just a mindset. When it's time to hit that light switch or flip that switch, they'll flip it. I'm not worried about them. Not worried about nobody in the West. The only team I'm really worried about in the West, if they had Boogie and AD and they had some more talent around them, that's going to be the team that eventually end up dethroning the Golden State Warriors in the future if they can get some talent around Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins can come back healthy. Drew Holiday has been explosive this year, but they need more depth and they need another prolific wing. And the big man need to play like big man. They need an overhaul with coaching and talent depth. They got to get some depth in New Orleans. They got to get a prolific wing scorer. They got to get a point guard that can stretch the floor, and they got to get the big guys playing down low, and they got to get some bench help. Until that happens, especially the coaching, then no. But I think with the two inside presence they got, they can dominate Golden State on the inside and give them some problems if they get some wing help in the future. But I don't see Golden State being knocked off for a long time unless they have some injuries. Steph Curry had a bad game last night, obviously. I'm not worried. He's going to get in the rhythm. Draymond, he's another nutcase. He got to get his head right. But they're going to be all right, I believe. Man. I think they're going to come out the West again. Is Houston catching up? Absolutely. But Houston has to commit to defense. Houston has to get some low post presence. They live and die by the jump shot too much. And people say, well, Golden State does as well. But ain't nobody shooting like Golden State. Ain't nobody shooting like Steph Curry. Ain't nobody shooting like Clay. Ain't nobody shooting like Kevin Durant. Not even Paul. Not even Eric Gordon. Not even James Harden is shooting like them. And also, they can get to the rim and get to the line. Harden can as well. When they get to playoff time, Harden just loses it, in my opinion. He ain't the player that he is in the regular season. He's like the Peyton Manning of the NBA, early in Peyton Manning's career. Excellent in the regular season, pedestrian in the playoffs. But if Houston can develop Clint Capella some type of post game, because in playoff basketball it becomes half court basketball, and get him the bucket and get him to post up and go over the right and left shoulder and develop a post game. Houston maybe, but that's in the future. They got to work. Hakeem got to work with Clint Capella to be a good big man. And they can throw it to Clint Capella and he can work out the post eventually. It'll make them a better team. He developing defensively. Paul is a good defender. Ariza is a good defender, but they got to be a better team defense. And D'Antoni don't believe in team defense. Harden don't believe in team defense. He don't believe in no defense. D'Antoni neither. And that's why they're going to continue to come up short. When you're not making shots, but you still can defend, that can keep you in the game. But when Houston not making shots, they not defending, they getting scored on. They don't understand how to go to the rim other than Harden. They not going to the rim. They not getting to the line consistently other than Harden. Golden State, all four of them guys can get to the line. Curry, Clay, KD, Draymond, get to the line. They can get some inside scoring. Houston only got Harden and Paul when his legs are right. So certain things schematically Houston can do, and there's a lot on the defensive end. But if they can develop some guys like Clint Capella with the post, and they can develop some inside game with him, and other people driving to the bucket consistently and not settling for jump shots all the time, Houston can catch up. But I just don't see it being this year for Houston to catch up unless some injuries happen, unless Golden State just dysfunctional with some things we don't know what's going on. But I trust the process. I trust Steve Kerr to make the right decisions. I trust Curry to get in sync. I trust Clay to get in sync. I trust Draymond to turn it on. I know what Iggy and KD give me every night. I'm still riding with Golden State, and it's not a question in my opinion. It's too early to write them off or